Hi everyone, my name's Anjali and welcome today to our WOCY time with teens and adults where we are celebrating World Lizard Day. So lizards are hugely diverse, they're hugely adaptable. There are over 6,000 different species. They live in all terrains around the world, apart from Antarctica, just a bit too cold for these cold-blooded creatures. And they have developed different ways of surviving. So we've got insectivores, omnivores, carnivores, a bit like humans, eat lots of different things. Starting to see some similarities here. They have different ways of protecting themselves and living their lives. So you've got the horned lizard that squirts blood from its eyes to be able to blind its predators and to foil them. You've also got the gecko that stores water in its tail. So as we move through this class today, we're going to be lengthening our bodies and really imitating these lizards in our own unique, diverse way. Our bodies are different, they were built differently, and so we can do different things. So please remember to be kind and listen to your bodies. Only do what is comfortable as you stretch through this class, as you do some of the strengthening poses as well. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, I'm going to show you a few adaptations of what you can do too. And all of that is about respecting yourself, move things away so that you can respect your yoga space and also the space of anyone else that you're doing yoga with as well. Okay, let's get starting with our WOCY warm-up where we're going to have slow movements, really stretching, lengthening our bodies. We're going to use our breath to help us keep this slow and steady as we're really warming up the muscles in our body. So first of all, start by standing. Try and use your hands as little as possible as you start to strengthen that core and that lower back, standing up. Come to the front of your yoga space, your yoga mat, as you stand tall. So we're standing in mountain pose. Tadasana is the Sanskrit, the yoga language word for a mountain pose. We are feeling the four corners of our feet, standing next to each other a comfortable distance apart. Roll your shoulders back and have your shoulders above your hips. Bring your hands to heart center, lift your chin a little bit. Breathe in as you stretch your arms up. And breathe out as you bend your knees, tummy to thighs, and your hands either side of your feet. Breathe in, step back with your right foot. Breathe out, step back with your left foot. Now you can drop your knees to the floor, your forearms to the floor, whatever feels more comfortable for you here, or a combination of the two. Breathe in, step forward with your right foot. Breathe out, step forward with your left foot, and you're trying to get those between your hands again. Breathe in as you stretch up, and breathe out as you come down. So remember, we're really thinking about stretching as we step our feet back, strengthening our shoulders, our arms, having that core and that lower back to keep supporting that tummy zone, abdominal zone lifted up as well. We'll do the other side before we move on to our WOCY pose. Okay, so hands together at heart center, looking up ahead, chin probably needs to come up slightly. Breathe in as you stretch your arms up. Breathe out as you bend your knees, hands by your feet, look down between your legs. Breathe in, left foot back this time. Breathe out, right foot back. Remember adaptations of your knees down, forearms down if you like. Breathe in, left foot forwards. Breathe out, right foot forwards. Hands either side of your feet. Breathe in as you stretch up. Breathe out as you bring your hands to heart center. Nice job, right, stretching those legs. Now, we have a pose called lizard pose. As we visualize, a lizard's legs are outside its body. So what I would like you to be doing today is we're going to come into a forwards bend again. We're going to stretch our legs out and one leg out, and we are going to move the position of our hands to kind of bring this leg of a lizard outside our bodies. So breathe in, stretch your arms up. Breathe out, fold yourself forward. Breathe in, step your right foot back here. Good. Okay, so from here, we want to make sure that our foot is in between our hands. Now you can either drop your knee down to the floor or keep it up. Just watch me to see what we're doing and then see what's comfortable for you. We're bringing both hands inside our left leg. So if you've got your right foot back, your left leg's forward. And if you've got your left foot back, right leg's forward, you're bringing your hands inside. Now here, would like you to drop your knee now to the floor. You can flatten your back foot down to the ground if you like. As we're trying to get closer down to the ground, as we've got a lizard's body that really hovers off the ground, it's got these short bent legs out to the side, and we're feeling a beautiful stretch on the inside of our thighs, okay? And I would like you to really listen, be kind to your bodies. If it feels uncomfortable here, you can straighten up your arms a bit. Just bring yourself into a stretch that feels right and breathe. You might find as you start to breathe deeper that you can start to lower one arm and to deepen that stretch, but only because your body has opened, relaxed, the muscles are feeling more warmed up here. And take a couple more breaths if it feels comfortable for you. And when you're done, you can, or if you finish before me, you can bring both feet back, kneel down into child's pose. So as you come out of this pose, we're just counter-posing by bringing our knees together, bringing our seat back onto our heels, and relaxing our arms in front or next to us. Just a bit of counter pose to that stretch on our inner thighs. Take a couple of breaths here before we move on to the other side. Good. All right, let's come back up to standing, as I find that that is an easier way to come back down into this pose. So what I'd like you to do is to steady your pose, bring yourself into a resting pose, and then come up to standing. Bring yourself into mountain pose, Tadasana. Hands to heart center. Breathe in as you stretch up. Breathe out, bring your knees bent, hands down to the floor next to your feet. I think I'm just going to step forward a little bit so I've still got mat space. And then I'd like you to step back with your other foot this time. So if it was right foot last time, left foot this time, vice versa. Just feel yourself into this lunge, stretching that back leg out. Then lower that knee to the floor, bring your hands inside your foot, and then start to lower yourself down slowly to feel that lizard stretch. And stop where you start to feel that stretch. Take a deep breath in and out. And then lower yourself down to a point that feels comfortable for you. You can shuffle that foot out as well. I often do so, but I know that my hips don't necessarily open enough for me to get my other elbow down to the floor very easily. So I'm working with how my body feels, taking deep breaths in and out. So I allow my muscles to slowly open, sink down into this pose in a way that feels comfortable for me. Remember, you can be up here and still be getting your stretch without your elbows on the floor and your forearms on the floor. 1 or 2 more breaths and then come down into child's pose. Remember, you can come out of this at any time. Here we go. We're just relaxing that foot back, sitting back onto our heels. Take 3 deep breaths here. Allowing that stretch to assimilate into your body without the overstretch that can feel sore or aching. And if that does happen, just consider to yourself, were you as kind to yourself as you could have been? You maybe need to pull back a little bit in these types of stretches while your body slowly gets used to stretching in this way. And then slowly come up to sitting. As I'd like us to have a WOCY relaxation time out. in thinking about these fascinating lizard creatures that have the ability to change themselves, to lose their tails when they're in danger. But with each regrowth of their tail grows back in a different way. There are changes. And it started to make me think about challenges, changes that are enforced on us, or sometimes they are just there for us to be welcome to open to. And all of these changes, these challenges that we face, change us in some way. Sometimes it's not easy to face these challenges. And so I'd like to share with you a technique that I came across a couple of years ago called the tapping solution, that you can use and adapt in any way that you feel comfortable with, whatever words you like, just using the same actions to help you grow more comfortable with the change ahead of you. I think particularly helpful as we all face change in these challenging times ahead. So we're going to start, and I'm going to just use some words, but maybe you want to focus more on the actions, but just some words to help us think about a change. So we start by tapping the sides of our hands. So in between our thumb and our hands, tap the sides of our hands. And the first words I'm going to use are, I don't like this change. So our first reaction to change, as I think about the change curve that I used to work with when I was a learning and development professional, the change curve, we go through a range of emotions when we are faced with a change. First, and usually it is resistance. I don't like this change. Okay, and then I'd like you to tap your eyebrows. I liked things the way they used to be. So always wanting things, it feels secure. We know what to expect when we have done things before. I liked things the way they used to be. Then the side of your eyes. The change is coming. So whether we like it or not, the change is coming. Okay, under your eyes. Now you start to recognize that it is coming, so we have to start shifting our focus. I know change is good. Okay, so we then start tapping under our nose. I am open to this change. Okay, so we start thinking, okay, we need to get our head around this now. Under our mouth, there may be challenges ahead. Okay, and then we acknowledge that things will be different. So our collarbones, tapping there. Things will be different. Under our arms we tap now. I have something to learn from this change. And then we tap finally the tops of our heads as we allow this change to sink into us. This change is exciting. Now just gently close your eyes as you think about maybe a change you are facing. Maybe those different emotions that you will go through. Allow your body, the different parts of your body, to experience that change. And that's what we are doing as we tap through these different parts of our body. The thinking part of our brain. We started there. Or we started with the action part, really, with our hands. And then our thought processes kick in as we move through different points in our face. But then we're thinking about really feeling that change within us, changing our approach, attitude to it as we take that change into our hearts and then assimilate it back in through our brains, our intuition, our thought processes. So with your eyes closed, your body nice and long and tall with your shoulders relaxed, rub your hands together till you feel a warmth between your hands. Cup your eyes and cover your eyes with your cupped hands. Feel the warmth sink in through your face. Slowly blink your eyes behind your hands, open and closed. Spread your fingers apart and pull them down over your face. Take a breath in as you stretch your arms to the side and up over your head, looking up at your hands if you can. Breathe out as you follow the direction of your hands down to your heart center, and we say namaste. The light in me honours the light in you. And I thank you very much for joining me for our WOCY time with teens and adults, where we have celebrated World Lizard Day.